Ballin' like the playoffs. I walk in with my homie. Walk out with your baby mama's home key. I can tell she want it. Fat booty, so you know a nigga own it. I'm such a OG. Last time I checked, my verses were for OZ. In the street.
And here's Manny Pacquiao coming through, moving quick with those legs, throwing a combination punch and catching him on the way back with his hand.
What up? It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land Daily Boxing Talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr. Keys to victory, boxing, hand speed. Alright, y'all, so we're going to give a comparison of two different fighters and who would win in this fight based solely on hand speed. Now, I know everybody, when they think about hand speed, they just think of the rapid fire style of Manny Pacquiao, the machine gun style of hand speed. But boxers use their hand speed in many different ways, as we seen Canelo Alvarez just do to Callum just a couple days ago, man. And, you know, he uses hand speed in a different way. He uses hand speed along with his boxing technique to crowd his opponent and just let off a barrage of punches or quick punches to stun his opponent. And then you got guys like Errol Spence Jr. who uses more of a come forward style of boxing, and once he comes forward, he starts to berate his opponent with power punches and punches to the body to tire him out. So you got hand speed being used in three different ways by three different fighters. Alright, so who would win this fight solely off of hand speed? Now, the obvious money would be on Pacquiao, but I think a lot of people sleep on the hand speed of Errol Spence Jr. and how he's able to use his come forward stance to, like I said before, crowd his opponent and just let go with body punches and body punches and body punches. So I think it would come down to a factor of, can Errol Spence Jr. throw or land those type of body punches on Manny Pacquiao for the first 4 or 5 rounds to, you know, try to take the air out of the Pac-Man balloon, for lack of a better word. But, you know, try to take the air out of Pacquiao early so he's not as quick in the later rounds, and perhaps try to knock him out. And I think on the opposite hand, you have Manny Pacquiao, and I think this is a perfect fight to reference when you think about what he should do when he's fighting a guy like Errol Spence Jr. Because when he fought Clotty, he wasn't moving around a lot. He was boxing Clotty a lot, and he uses his hand speed in spurts to land precise shots on Clotty, and very calculated shots on Clotty. And you can tell by just looking at Canelo here and how he moves, you know, his movement, his foot movement. He doesn't throw shots like really quick and then move, you know, and move at the same time. He's sitting down on his punches. He'll sit down, throw punch, sit down, throw a punch, sit down, throw a combination, then move. And it's all for a reason. That they're very small steps on his front foot, but they're very large sweeping steps on his back foot. And this is the base. That's what gives him the base to be able to do this. Errol Spence does something similar to that, but he's more of a come forward to the body type of guy, where Canelo, he can just come forward in his boxing stance, since it's so perfect, and throw precise shots on guys and they're power shots. So he's really stunning guys when he's throwing these shots. And just watch that Callum Smith fight, man. It was masterful to watch Canelo Alvarez land those type of shots. And I think for Manny Pacquiao to win based off hand speed, he would have to come with a style like when he fought Clotty, man, and sort of similar to what he did to Keith Thurman, a mixture of that. He would have to box him for the first 5 or 6 rounds, you know, moving around very slightly to conserve his energy, and then open it up around the 6th or 7th round to, you know, just throw accurate shots and try to take Errol Spence out of there. Is it possible? You know, it's anything's possible. For Pacquiao just turned 42. Happy birthday, Manny Pacquiao. But I think that's just the perfect style of fight that he fought when he took on Clotty, man. And when it comes to hand speed, like I said, you have guys who do it in many different ways. You can do the Canelo style, you can use the Pacquiao style, or you can go with the Errol Spence style with body shots to try to slow your opponent down and then take advantage of them in the later rounds, which is, I think it's based off his body size that he's able to do this to guys. And, that's another reason why guys use certain styles, it's their body type. Errol Spence can't do what Manny Pacquiao does. His body type's not going to move as quick as a Manny Pacquiao's does. And the same goes for Canelo Alvarez. He had to come up with his own style, which is why it's so spectacular, to see, because most guys never come up with their own style. All these guys have their own way of using their boxing weapons, is what I like to call them. Foot speed, hand speed, and ring IQ. Those are the weapons that a boxer brings to the table. They all use them in very unique and different ways. Like I said before, Pacquiao has his machine gun style when he wants to go to that. Canelo has his superb boxing technique, and then Errol Spence has his power punches, that he takes to the body and to take guys out. So based on all of that, man, who's gonna win between Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence if it came down to hand speed? Let's just say these guys are throwing in the last round, it's the 12th round and they just get to throwing. Who's going to win that fight? I would say Manny Pacquiao, because we all know that boxing is not just one thing, and I think that Pacquiao's foot speed would be the thing to throw Errol Spence off. Errol Spence is a dynamic puncher when it comes to guys that are in front of him. But Manny Pacquiao, we all know, is not just going to stand right in front of you. He's going to be all over the place. He's going to be throwing punches from weird angles. And I think because Errol Spence has never fought a guy like Manny Pacquiao, or there's no guy out there who can mimic a Pacquiao, it's the reason that Pacquiao gives so many fighters so much trouble, is because they can't find a sparring partner to mimic him in any type of way. I think Errol Spence is going to have a lot of trouble in this fight, and that's why I think Terence Crawford is going to come down to the same thing. If Pacquiao's able to go through Spence first or able to go through Crawford first, the next guy is really going to have a trouble because Pacquiao's going to have more confidence, plus he would have had his tune-up fight for whoever's next, man. So I'm going to call it Manny Pacquiao. If they do end up fighting in April, or if Pacquiao fights Terence Crawford, there's news coming out from Bob Earn saying he can get that fight done in the first quarter of 2021, which I don't know if it's true or not. But let me know down in the comment section, man. Who wins this fight based solely off of hand speed? Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr. The keys to victory. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. As always, man, believe in yourself. Follow your dreams. Your dreams will come true. Tell your mama, your daddy, your cat, your dog, your uncle, your cousin, your homie in Minneapolis, Texas, or whatever he's at, man, about Cardinal Red and Ollie Land Boxing Talk, man. Trying to grow the platform as big as we can get it. And with your help, we can get there. We out of here.
I walk in with my homie, walk out with your baby mama's home key. I can tell she want it, fat booty, so you know a nigga own it. I'm such a OG, last time I checked my verses were for OZ. In the street,